Tiffany, how are
Hey,
you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. For some reason, it wasn't connecting on my end. I don't know what was going on. I had to rejoin.
Oh, it happens to me sometimes too in different forms.
Yeah. So, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm here at a marina. I'm not in the truck, so I'm happy about
Well,
that.
you look like you're in a beautiful place.
Yeah, I'm actually the truck is across the street. We were very lucky and found parking literally right across from this marina, and this is actually a restaurant that I'm sitting at, but they don't open until like 12, I think, and it's only 8:30 out here. So I just come out here and found a really pretty table with the boats behind me, and have better service than in the truck.
Yeah. So, where are you at?
San Diego.
Ah, I love San Diego. I just,
Yeah, it's really pretty. This was my first time visiting like the city, so it's pretty neat.
yeah. Yeah, I love San Diego. I think it's one of the prettiest towns, prettiest cities in California. That whole area
Oh
is
yeah,
really pretty. Well, all right, Tiffany, we will get started. So I just want to congratulate you on being chosen as a Woman of Excellence for
thank you.
2024 for Bennett Motor Express. So
Yeah,
congratulations.
thank you. I'm still in shock.
Well, you're very, very deserving.
Well, thank
And
you.
um, so, Tiffany, how did you get in the industry? How did you, as a woman, start driving and being involved in the trucking industry?
Well, my most of my adult life, I worked in a university setting. I was the dean's assistant for most of my adult career at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, and so that's what I always did was that type of work. And once our Jeremy and I, once our kids were all grown and kind of doing their own thing. We have six, by the way. There's three boys and three girls between the two of us. And once they were all grown and doing their own thing, we just didn't really see a need for me to be at home by myself while he's out on the road. I, I came from, there was some guys in my family when I was a little girl. I remember driving trucks, and I always thought it was pretty cool that they had these big trucks and everything. And, I just felt like being out on the road would be challenging for me, but also very interesting and fulfilling. Obviously, I could see the country, but that I could be with my husband and not, just see him every now and then. So it just makes sense. So he's been in this industry for 32 years, and I thought, what, that's a great teacher. I can learn from him. The company that we were at prior to Bennett was they allowed him to like teach me, train me, do all the things that a school would typically do. So I got lucky in that. So I went to the school of Wallin. So, and I learned, everything from shifting the gears to the rules of the road to etiquette to respect of other drivers of just everything from him. So that's kind of how I got started. I know it's a non-traditional way for most women to get into this because I went straight into hauling. I think I hauled my first oversized load with him 3 months in. So that was
Wow.
very like challenging and scary, but I did it. Um, and I ended up covering all the 48 states, besides Alaska, Hawaii, within 1 year of being out here with him. So after we did a year at the company we were at, Jeremy's big thing, he's always wanted to come to Bennett for years. He wanted a good partner to come with him. So here I was, and we came to Bennett a year ago. So I've been driving 2 years total, 1 year for Bennett, 1 year prior with Noble Trucking out of Scottsboro, Alabama, and all up to now, of
Wonderful.
course.
Well, some of the things that was said in your nomination is that Tiffany is a teacher and a learner. that she is such an advocate for Bennett and gets involved in so many different things that go on along with other industry involvements. She's a hard worker and isn't afraid of any challenge that comes her way. So there was a lot of really nice things that was said about you, Tiffany, and I just appreciate you and appreciate you representing the women drivers.
Well, thank you.
Um, so, as you know, safety is priority one for us here at Bennett. And so, out when you're out on the road, can you give me a couple examples of how you stay safe and the kind of things that you do?
Absolutely. The number one thing that I have no tolerance for is distractions. So when I'm driving, I don't touch anything except the steering wheel. I don't mess with my phone. I don't like look around for stuff in the floor or mess with the radio or whatever. I do all of that stuff before I leave for my trip. I'm very focused when I'm driving. I'm very aware of my surroundings, and things can change out on the road in a split second. And I will tell you a little secret. Before I started driving a big truck, when I would just drive my regular car, I was sort of like a little Speedy Gonzales, and I thought if I wasn't going 90 miles an hour somewhere, I wasn't going, and I wasn't as aware of just my surroundings and my personal car. So now that I've been driving this big truck, I've became a much better driver, even in my personal car. I see the things that can happen. I respect this truck. I respect the road, and I respect other drivers. And I understand that, just because other drivers may be distracted, I've seen it myself going down the road and they're on their cell phone, they're watching TV on their dash, they're, holding their phone in their hand, doing all these things. Just because they're doing that, I have to pay extra attention to me and my truck to avoid accidents and to avoid danger. My brother was killed by an 18 wheeler 7 years ago, and that was very scary for me when I first started driving. But because of that, I feel like that's also helped me be a better driver, because if I see people or stuff on the side of the road, I'm extra cautious. I know that I can prevent an accident. I can't prevent what others do, but I can prevent what I do. So I try to do weather checks before I leave when I do my pre trip, look at the routes, just kind of see what I'm going to anticipate up the road so that I don't have to be fumbling with apps or whatever to figure that part out while I'm driving. So when I'm on the deck, I'm very small, so I have to be extra careful about jumping and hopping around and just hurting myself. So I try to be as careful because I'm pretty clumsy by nature, but I try to be as careful and keep that in my head that I could really injure myself or other people out here if I don't take care of my business. So I feel like self responsibility is a big thing with these big trucks.
That's very commendable because there are so many distracted drivers, and speed is one of the things that I see a lot.
Yes.
And the accidents, it seems like that we have the most of here at Bennett is rear end accidents where somebody stops in front of you or lane changes. So you've got to constantly, be paying attention. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Tiffany, I know you're an influencer. I know you spend time doing that, and we have more and more women that are getting into our industry. And would you have advice or anything you would say to a woman that was looking to become a driver that does what you do?
Yeah, one of my biggest pet peeves with women in general, that comes into the industry that I've noticed from these different groups and stuff I'm part of, is they feel like that because they go to school and they learn a few weeks of whatever, that they just know everything. And you don't know anything when you come out of that school. You have to get behind the wheel and you have to actually do it. And the biggest piece of advice I could offer women is to really listen to your veteran drivers. And when I say veteran, I don't mean 5 years, 10. 20 years. These guys and women out here that's been doing this, for that long, they know what they're doing. They have made all the mistakes. They have, it's been tried and true things that they've done. Um, Violet is one of my personal mentors. I love that woman to death, and I've called on Violet so many times as a female and as a veteran driver to just ask her basic things, and she always ends up telling me the same thing that Jeremy tells me. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess he was right about this or whatever. They always, I feel like they gang up on me because they're like, no,
Yeah.
Tiff, this is, so I don't have a problem listening to veteran drivers. And I feel like that a lot more women, if they came in with a better attitude, when these people, men, women, are trying to tell us things as a rookie or whatever. Um, they're not trying to be, a know-it-all or whatever. They're trying to help educate us for a reason. They've been there before. So I would tell women to really try to listen to mentors that are veterans, and also try to get into as many types of trucking aspects as they can. Haul all kind of stuff. See what is. Flatbedding may not be for you. Reefer may not be for you. Try all the things. And the ones that try to come to Bennett, I tell them, Bennett may not. It may not be right for you if you're not into open deck. Go get you some experience, and not 6 months. We're not a starter company. We're not a training company. Go to TMC, go wherever, but get that experience and make sure that that's your cup of tea before you even try. But just any kind of experience you can get is the best way to set yourself up for success in the future.
Well, we're happy that we're getting a lot more women in the industry. I think that women are very professional. They pay attention to detail, which is really an important part of the job. And so, Tiffany, do you have just any special memory or anything that you'd like to share out on the road that's
um
happened to you?
Actually, I had a very heartwarming thing that happened, and I've had lots of things, but this just kind of sticks out, I guess, because it happened yesterday. We were in Yuma, Arizona, headed back out here to San Diego. We had went down to see our son, who's stationed in the Army down in Arizona, and we were headed back. And we were in Yuma, Arizona, and we were in a town called Bennett. And it was, I mean, it had gotten up to like 118 yesterday out there. And there was a lady behind the counter. She was shaking while she was making her sandwich. And I started talking to her. She was an older lady. And she told me that she has Parkinson's and she rides a disability wheelchair cart 30 minutes back and forth to her job there at Subway at the truck stop. And she was the sweetest lady, and she had a really good attitude, and she was working her butt off in there, just working circles around the younger people with all of these adverse effect, things that on her life. And I just got to thinking, this lady, she's passionate about her job. um, at the Subway, and with all of the problems she has, she's still giving it 110%. How much we as women, as just people, could learn from this lady. But it was pretty special to see that, because most of the time when you go in these truck stops, you just don't get the greatest service. And I thought, of
Mhm.
all the people to give me that kind of service, it was an elderly lady that rides a golf cart thing back and forth, and she had the best service and the best attitude, and it just made me want to work harder, want to, not complain as much. I mean, she just told me, she was like, you just have to keep going every day. You just have to do what you have to do to keep going. So that was pretty special.
That was special. She made a difference in your life yesterday.
Yes,
And so
definitely.
I think that's what we're supposed to every day, get up trying to make a difference. And so,
Absolutely.
well, that's wonderful. So, Tiffany, you have how many children?
Six,
Six.
3 boys and 3 girls.
And three girls. And
Yep.
what do you like to do when you're not out on the road?
Well, I'm fortunate that my husband and me, now that the kids are grown and everything, we have sold everything we had in North Georgia, and we have recently moved to Orange Beach, Alabama. And that has just been that Jeremy grew up at the beach, and I have always wanted to live there. So we live 2 miles from the Gulf, and now we have gotten into boating. I've sort of gotten into like saltwater fishing. I'm trying to get to where I can like touch the things to put it on the line, but I'm struggling with that a little bit. We like to go scuba diving, snorkeling, and I just really, every morning it gives me peace to just go out to the beach, take my coffee with me, watch the waves coming in. I mean, God has made a gorgeous, gorgeous world, and I'm very thankful that I'm blessed enough to be able to live in that part of the country. It's gorgeous down there, and now that that's my home, it's made me very, very happy on so many levels. But so mainly the water things is what I really like to do.
Mhm.
I love to bird watch. I'm learning about different birds and seashells. I'm trying to learn the different ones. So those are sort of what I do when I'm at home.
Well, that sounds perfect, just perfect. Well, in acceptance of the Women of Excellence for 2024, do you have any acceptance remarks you'd like to make?
Yes. First of all, thank you. I don't even know who would throw my name in there. I was so shocked when Caitlin called me. I about fell off of the bunk in the truck. I said, "What? Are you serious right now?" So whoever those people were, thank you so much for having seeing something in me that made them feel like I was, deserving of this because I don't feel that way. I still feel very new and very green, but I do appreciate it. I do try to be a good cheerleader for Bennett. I do try to be a good influence on other women and just people in general. I'm a very positive person, and I like to try to make other people happy if I in whatever way that is. So maybe some of that shows through. I know I'm a mess a lot of the times, but I'm very thankful and very grateful to work for Bennett. I want to retire from Bennett, and I'm very grateful to all of you guys. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. We appreciate you, appreciate the great way you represent women. And during Driver Appreciation Week, we'll have a special day just dedicated to you ladies. And
Oh,
so you'll learn a little bit more about that later. And this video will be, we'll have this video that day, and then the full video will be out on Facebook for everybody to see.
okay.
So, yeah, so we're excited. We'll have a lot of fun during
Okay.
that week. But thank you, and I just hope that you guys have a good continued trip, and that you stay safe. And just thank you for
Thank
being who you are.
thank you for taking the time out to talk to me. I appreciate it.
Okay, tell Jeremy I said hello.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, hon. All right. Bye bye.